Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat. Today is Tuesday, June 11th, 2019, and today is more of the Pyanodon's playthrough in Factorio. So I want to start off today by saying that I am certain that I have finally... I'm just going to let this load because it sort of screws with the audio a little bit whenever the game loads. I have finally discovered and fixed the root cause of the disconnection issues I have been having for exactly 2 weeks from tomorrow's stream. 2 weeks ago from today is when I discovered after the stream that I had a fraudulent charge in my bank account using my debit card. Now, I went and I resolved that incredibly quickly, but during that process, I installed an antivirus software to check my computer to see if I had anything stealing data. The software I chose was Avast antivirus because it has a free option, and lo and behold, the day after I installed Avast, the stream immediately following was when I started having these periodic connection issues. And if you actually, when I go into my video producer and I see the list of the past videos, it's actually incredibly periodic. Like, it is almost exactly every 59 minutes and some seconds that it was disconnecting. It's like, this is not random. Like, it was pretty clear, not random. So, I have uninstalled Avast antivirus. There's a reason why I didn't have it installed on my system in the first place, and I'm pretty sure that the internet issue was the exact reason why I got rid of it in the first place. It's just been so long since I haven't had it that I forgot why I got rid of it in the first place, and as it turns out, this was the exact reason why I got rid of it in the first place. And it's because it was screwing with my internet connection. So yeah, I've uninstalled it, and I have had 0 issues thus far. And as it turns out, this is not an issue unique to me with Avast. Avast is actually... it actually causes issues with internet connections for many people. I just search for Avast internet disconnection or Avast and then some terms associated with not being able to connect to the internet, and you'll see a bunch of people complaining about how Avast seems to be either completely shutting down their internet connection, which I think I've also had in the past, or causing these like periodic disconnects that I've been facing. So anyway, I've gotten rid of it now. So there shouldn't be any more issues. Hallelujah. 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later. And we're through with those issues. So, into the Pyanodon's playthrough. When last we left off, I was having some issues with power. I have a tentative solution to this. I am going to run further back up my bus because the immediate solution to the problem is setting a splitter output priority on coke. That is my tentative solution, is forcing enough coke to feed powerhouses through one of the early splitters. It'll be the powerhouses that feed into the aromatic, or it'll be the splitter that ends up feeding the coke into the powerhouses for the aromatics and syngas power production facilities. Which means it is this splitter. It will output priority right, so that all of the coke comes down until it does eventually back up. It just so happens that these 4 machines require more than half of what I'm currently producing for coke in order to operate fully. In fact, I think very specifically it's these machines that are choking here on top of the hydrogen machines further down the line. Now, there are a few things to note. I mean, there have been updates to the Pi suite lately. In particular, the most recent update to Pi raw ores has seen new icons for raw borax and one other thing. I think it was niobium or nexlit or something like that. I forget exactly which one, but raw borax is the one to show off at this point. And here it is. The new raw borax, making very good use of the new randomized sprite system for the raw resources, which is cool. So this has now been brought in line with the recent changes to vanilla, and it looks awesome. It looks amazing. And I'm going to assume that quartz is going to end up looking similar to this, just a recolor. Just an FYI, I'm sort of expecting a recolor of that to be used for the other, quote, crystalline stuff, but we shall see. Now, as far as the actual washed, the cleaned borax goes, I'm uncertain whether or not this one should be changed to be, quote, less refined. Just because part of the point of making the raw ores look more unrefined was to offer a contrast between ores and plates, because you are casting plates to be identical. I am uncertain whether cleaning crystals would result in something completely identical looking as an output, because that's essentially what you're doing up here. You are cleaning impurities, just literally washing the raw ore into a purer form just by running water over it and getting some of the impurities off. So maybe that one might want to have some randomized sprites on it to make it look a little bit more unrefined. Anyway, the other thing I want to make note of is filtration, because I have found another inconsistency in the filter building. So I need to get the filtration tech to unlock the filter 1 building, but actually I can do this right from the tech tree. If I do filter mining machines 2 unlocks filter Mark II. So the Mining Machines 2 tech, which I've already pointed out the issue that existed with Excavation 1, how it gave you access to the Mark II version of the sand extractor through Mining Machines 2. Well, as it turns out, it's the same issue with the filter building, because I can currently build Filter Mark II without having the tech to build Filter Mark 1. So again, excavation or Mining Machines 2 needs to have filtration as a prerequisite for it. So that's the next note for Pyanodon when he eventually watches this stream, because I know that Pyanodon does watch this stream and pays attention to when I make those notes and actually fixes those issues. So I've done that. I am going to work on a more permanent solution to the power issue, which, as you can see, there's a switch over every now and then, but as the coke continues to fill in over here, see, as the coke is filling in, those switchovers should happen a lot less often, and you can see some coke is making its way through down the line now, and it'll feed in to the rest as time goes on. But yeah, these blips are happening a little bit less. But I want to fix those blips altogether. Now, how will I do that? Well, I'm going to go through and do a more efficient process for producing coke. The more efficient process for producing coke is through the red hot coke line. Red hot coke is made in basic oxygen furnace. This process I've been able to do for some time. It turns 20 coal and 200 steam that it produces into red hot coke and coke oven gas. Now, the coke oven gas is how I noticed that there was an issue with the filter tech, because I have access to this recipe. I could technically make filter Mark II, and I can't make filter 1 because it's locked behind filtration. So that's another thing to take care of right there. I need to get the coke processing 2 tech, because ideally, the byproduct that's also produced along with red hot coke can be converted into syngas and flue gas. A lot of syngas and flue gas by just adding water. So that I definitely want to make use of to produce some additional syngas rather than just burning off the coke oven gas. As for flue gas, I will then need to pick up filtration, like actually pick up filtration as a tech, to get access to converting flue gas into ash. That is quite possibly the one that I really do want to go for. You can convert large amounts of flue gas into syngas, but you also need activated carbon for this, and activated carbon will require setting up zinc mining and processing, which I'll have to do at some point anyway, but at this point in the game where I'm trying to focus on improving what I already have without adding too much new stuff, I am hesitant to go this route. But what I do want to do is get into the filtration tech to do this. And then at some point, I also need to pick up Nexalit Processing 1 so that I can start converting tailings into Nexalit. To actually have something to do with tailings, because Nexalit plates are required for, like, most, if not all, of the Mark II buildings. Anyway, so I need to make quenching towers, and quenching towers need to have concrete. I'm currently not making any concrete, but fortunately I did pick up the tech that makes making concrete a little bit easier. Now, I'm going to probably do this close to my water source, relatively close, and just store the concrete. Primarily because, oh, right. Can I even... Yeah, through one of these. So, Pyanodon's mods do not include the change brought about with 0.17 that allows all assembling machines to include a... Actually, can you normally do a fluid input on a Mark 1 machine in vanilla? I don't even know the answer to that. Anyway, so an automated factory. This will at least produce faster. You will be making me some concrete. Tempted to also make some refined concrete to place that down, but no, there's other easier tiles that I can make. So this needs water, obviously. Now I'm going to give it its own line of water. Quite convenient position there, because that just means I can do this. There's the water, and then it needs to have stone bricks and iron ore in. Fortunately enough, I am shoving in a bit more iron ore than what I need to feed what I currently have. So I'm just going to siphon off a bit of the iron ore that I have coming up here. Ugh. Then I'm going to bring in my plates from over here. Not plates, bricks. Gosh, I only have one more miner on my stone patch for my early game stone, my starter base stone. Okay, bringing in these guys. Finally, a use for my stone bricks. that should be that. Now, also, there is a bit of belt cleanup I can do here because I'm not producing any more of this stuff over here. I don't have any more of that. Now, here... yeah, that's easier. I need more wood production, by the way. That's something I will be needing. Can I make... oh. La-di-di-di-da, wood production unit, or processing unit, I should say. 'Cause I need another one of you. Come on. Gosh, making lots of tinned cable there. I also need to bring some ash in so I can start doing this recipe. Alternatively, I can do ash tailings and CO2. That makes it a lot faster. Or bring in some CO2. Or tailings and CO2. Not even have to worry about it. There we go. That's a little bit extra. 1.88 per second, and I've got 3 of these. 0.15. Wait. Why was that backing up again? Alright, this is clearly not taking into account something if the logs were backing up. Interesting. Anyway, moving along back to what I was originally working on. So this should, once I give it some juice, be sufficient to give me some concrete. And over time, that'll just fill up, and I won't have to worry so much about it. Power is every so often flipping on me. I may just have like one too many combustion turbine things somewhere. Anyway, quenching towers. Also a cooling tower and a BOF. Where is BOFs? BOFs! Basic oxygen furnace. Now I will need to also take into consideration ratios here, so... Quenching tower, quenching tower, quenching tower, quenching tower, quenching tower. Where are you? Where are you? Quenching tower. Oh yeah, these also convert tar into stuff. That's a pretty decent way of getting saline water, FYI. And tailings. Lots of tailings. 40% chance of getting... That is niobium. Or, so I guess niobium is the new icon, maybe? Anywho, I don't see a reason to do any of that, because that uses a ton of tar to make a little of stuff. So, ratio here is... Oh yeah, and it needs pressured air. But pressured air is easy enough. Just gonna make a bunch of air machines. Yeah, so pressured air is super simple. This needs 30 per second, and so that's like 1.5 of those on the pressured air. Needs a water input, 40 per second. Produces 20 on the steam. Okay, so this is going to be, I'm going to guess a 2 to 3 or a 3 to 2 in some ratio. Note, this takes coal in, and it requires fuel anyway, so it's going to use coal as fuel as well. This produces also some coal dust as well as coke. So 8 coke per second from 1.2 hot. 2.5. So clearly this is not a 2 to 3. I mean, 3 to 2 is probably close enough for purpose, but it's not precise. When is it precise? Probably never. When does this hit a multiple of 5? At 30. Okay, I was going to pick up coke processing 2 next. When does it hit a multiple of... technically of 2.5? That would be... It can't do a 0.5. So... yeah, I can only do even decimals, which means the next multiple of 5, does it do 15? No, it doesn't do 15 evenly. So it's 30 to 25. No, I'm wrong, not 30. It is 36 to 25. That is the ratio here. 36 to 25. Is there nothing simpler or evenly divisible? 36 is not divisible by 5. So that's the actual ratio. I'm just going to say that 3 to 2 is close enough for purpose so that 10 coal per second converts into 16 coke per second. It's actually a little bit less than, ever so slightly less than 10 coal per second will convert into 16 per second, which is actually more than a full yellow belt, which is amazing. And then I have to deal with coal dust. Some coal dust. Now, I can convert that into ash and syngas in a gasifier, or into apparently silicon with some pure sand, or some titanium tetrachloride by adding titanium. Maybe at some point I would want those, but I'm thinking doing this syngas production because I have a demand on ash currently. So I will make a gasifier as well. Maybe just I'm gonna assume that converting coal dust into syngas, that this recipe is going to use more than what I'm producing here, which it does. So I need to make another quenching tower, which means I'm going to need to make, or grab, I should say, additional concrete, which during this whole time of planning, I've produced significantly more concrete. I apparently also need to grab more engine units, so let's go grab those. Pick up my gasifier. So it's 2 of those to 3 boffs now. Let's see. I only had made the 1, so that's 3. And then I think it's like 3 pressure pumps feeds into it evenly. And also this is going to replace completely this line of crap. Because this is a 1-to-1 input to output, and I'm actually not producing, or not pulling in enough coal to even feed a full 10 per second, but instead of making 10 coke per second by doing this, I would consume the same amount of coal and output essentially what is a full yellow belt of coke rather than a current one. So it increases it by over 33%, which is great. Now I was coming out here to grab what again? For my quenching tower, right. I need engine units. Quenching tower. So, it is officially time to break this. This is by far my biggest demand on coal as well. Now, I'll also make note that, yes, the machines for this are quite large. And this very much is not enough space for this, most likely. Which is why I'm going to build it further back. I'm going to build it down in here. So, this starts with the oxygen furnaces. Here. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this, really? I'm going to... do this like so. I said it was 3 to 2, right? So this is a way to keep space saved. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Die? Okay, just as long as there's a gap between all of that. That is another big demand for coke. Now, this is not a closed system. I need 60 per second of air. Let me think about how I want this rotated. That will have to be, I think, how I do this rotation. And I need to pick up more pipe. Fortunately, I have some pipe right here, so I don't have to go all the way down to where I'm producing it. Why bother running all the way down the bus when I have it right there? Now, of course, I am going to make use of my steam outputs and inputs, but I will need more steam than what I can get out of... Or, correction, I need more steam than the water that's being brought in. So these require steam in 100 per second. These take water in and only produce 40 units of steam when I need 100, so this will help, but I'll still need a little bit more. I'm pretty sure just a single... Or better yet, I can probably... I'm, like, fingers crossed, have enough out of this steam. Where even is... Ah, good. Let's pick up filtration next. I need to bring this steam in the opposite direction. Granted, that's going to be a little bit difficult. It's going to have to go down and then over. And then it has to be fed in exactly one tile lower than how I brought this over. Wonderful. Always like this. Okay, so that will feed in all of the extra steam. I don't need a quenching tower. If I just send in some water, or not a quenching tower, a cooling tower. But I'm pretty sure one of these would give me the water that I need. But since I have basically free access to as much water as I need right now, I'm not going to bother worrying. Now, as for this gas, the coke oven gas, I can officially make another quenching tower, I think. Is it in this? It is. So I can stick one of these down. Now, how much am I producing out of these three? 25 per second. 25 per second in to make 25 per second on the syngas and 250 on the flue gas. And once I get filtration, I'll be able to turn that into ash, which I can then feed into this dude. Feed into this dude and produce a bit more wonderful, beautiful logs. Ain't that gonna be nice? That will be lovely. Yeah, that will be awesome. What do I need to actually make a filter? Oh, and I probably... I don't know if I need any, like, quote, fuel in the form of these filtration media things for this. But regardless, a filter I can just make. Now, where am I going to put this machine? Probably just here. And connect the line. This will also require some water in. Need more. Need more pipe. Just craft. No, 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 no. Not those. These. Hello, tech. Grab the Nextlet processing next, because Nextlet's used for a ton of stuff and things. Ton of Mark II things. Now, here's a good question. How in the flying F am I going to get the coke out? That is a really good question. Like, how? This is... Alright, this is gonna be weird, but it works. Eh? Oh, what experience can do for you? That is definitely a way of doing this. Okay then, I need something to do with the coal dust. Which I decided, what exactly? Gasifier into syngas and ash? Gasifier. Coal dust plus water. This will filter out, of course, the coal dust. And this will definitely be more than enough for it. And it will output really? Ash at 30% chance, as well as some syngas. This also, now this produces flue gas. So flue gas, I was going to also make into ash through a filter. So let us go through and pick up wherever filters are located. I don't know if I will need just the one filter. So this produces 250 per second on the flue gas. Oh, lots of things. Hello, lots of things. Oh, hey, this converts wastewater into water. And this takes purest nitrogen and makes nitrogen. Okay, don't know why you would want to go backwards like that, but fine. Outlet gas 1 from stuffs, yes. Purified air from carbon and air. Cold, clean air from cold air and biofilm. Okay, acid gas, biofilm and tailings. Organic solvent. Bone meal and olefins. Anyway. You can turn tailings into water and ash. Interesting. Anyway, this is what I want. This is 75 per second, so I definitely need like 4 of those. Okay. Good thing I can make a lot of them. The mythical allet of them. May as well place this like one closer. Alright, and this will output... Oh, I also need to get syngas up and out to my bus. I guess technically the ash is gonna come up from there. Yes, this all will just end up producing ash. So this is how I will deal with the flue gas. Now, I will note that I have other things making flue gas, or at least producing it as a byproduct, particularly here with these gasifiers, turning tar into coal gas. These are producing flue gas, which I could be turning into yet more ash. Of course, the primary issue being, oh, yeah, that's not good. You are not moving because I don't have enough wood feeding into here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a splitter somewhere and start burning excess ash. Yeah. Well, what I am also going to do is probably switch recipes on my wood production. That also sounds like a pretty good idea. Also, I really dislike doing this, but part of me also just doesn't want to install the Bob's inserters either. Bob's customizable inserters, because that would make life so much easier, because I would have complete control over which lane these output on, but I want to try to not use any of the Bob's suite for this. Keep it relatively close to vanilla on that side of things. Okay, you don't produce any other solids, so I'm going to stick these guys like so. I also need to feed each of these 3.33 per second, which means I'm going to need likely 2 each. Probably don't need 2 here. But anyway, let me start to power it all up. It all needs power. Even this one. Oh, that was enough to power all of that. Excellent. Oh yes, the purified air. That's the or the pressurized air, I should say. That's the next step. Doink, 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 doink. How much do I need? 60? Yeah, that's just 3. And power. Pressured air. Welcome to the party. Why are you not getting enough pressured air? Alright, let's do more than what I need. Pipes, 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 pipes. So that it fills up all the pipes. I think that's what I've been waiting on, is filling up all the pipes. Hey, it's Coke! It's Coke! Welcome, Coke, again to the party, which I'm realizing I've sort of cut off for a little while now, and I'm sure that my power is not in such a good state as a result of that. Actually, I do want to fill this up. So then I need, right, to do that. Hello, tech. give me... Well, at this point, I don't think I particularly care about much of anything else. As being fully necessary, I should point that out to what I'm currently doing. And this is operating, and I just need to then get this gas out. Better yet, how do I want to try running this? I don't even know. So, 4 of these running with ash, that's 3 per second on the ash. These produce up to 6, so it's producing more than I'm consuming. That's fine. This is a better recipe anyway. Should produce enough for some more wood. Okay, now this is limited. Oh, I officially have, too much steam. Okay, time to do a little bit of shenaniganry. I don't like having to do this, but I will do it anyway. Power. And then I have to feed this back into a water line somewhere. Just take my water. Take the water away. So that this can keep moving. Wow. I am absolutely limited by the speed of my inserters. Doesn't help that power's an issue. Then you are limited by syngas, of course. Let me get this all sorted out. Oh, there's syngas right there. Boom! And there we go. Off to the races. I'm just looking and seeing about how quickly those inserters are moving the stuff. And watching what's happening with power as well. Looks like I have a gap in the production there. Now, this is a more efficient process than what I was doing before, but there's no guarantee that what I am making is sufficient amounts of coke. It still may not be fully sufficient. And with the power the way that it is, it may remain to be... It may remain being insufficient. What I do know is that I am not lacking in the syngas department. Although I am lacking in ash. Not ash. I'm lacking in the production of my syngas from these gasifiers because of the ash backing up like it is. So how much, well, I've got lots of burners. So let's find a thin line on the bus. I guess it needs fuel in as well to do this. Oh my. I'm going to take excess ash and I'm going to burn it. Gosh, I do hope this is enough to feed everything. Yeah, everything's running fully satisfied, which should speed up the inserters pulling the coke out of the machines. So it should actually end up resulting in even more coke coming down this belt. Alright, so I've got ash up here. This line. I just need a spot near coal. Hello? Spot near coal. In order to do burners. How many should I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So burners have this nasty habit of also producing ash. So you need to basically... That is not the line. That is the line. So I need to have them also feed into each other. So this is going to be their energy. Then light her up. Yeah, that should definitely burn, like, all of the excess amounts of ash. And quite conveniently, this is only drawing power due to the inserters. So this will keep everything moving. Sure, let's see. Methanol reactor. Convert syngas or raw materials into methanol. Process that uses a solvent to separate acid gases from valuable feed gas streams. Okay. So this is the refined syngas, methanol. Lots of various processes for methanol. There's the use of for titanium tetrachloride. Copper, zinc, and syngas, huh? Crude oil from aromatics and syngas. Plastic from aromatics and syngas. That's what I am interested in. That's what I'm interested in. Let's do this research. Okay, that should be that. Now, I definitely am worrying about how much coal is left up there. That's the next thing that I'm worrying about. I'm worrying about how this somehow doesn't have enough steam. Ah, because I sort of broke the, yeah. I broke how they were all connected, so that's the next thing. Now, just as long as these inserters can keep up, we should be good to go. Now, I can see that absolutely, yes, these inserters are nowhere near quick enough to keep up. The unfortunate part Because this would be, like, the spot here. That's better. Now, remember what I said about it. Oh, gosh, that's... No. There. Now you should work. So remember what I said about it producing more than a yellow belt in outputs. So that's something to worry about. It's... yeah, about 1 1/3 of a yellow belt. So realistically, one option is to do this. And what that will do is it will just make sure that I am getting the entire, or as best as I can, the entire yellow belt's worth of coke out. That's how you do that. So, huzzah! More coke is coming out. A lot more coke. Near enough a whole yellow belt worth of coke. And this will ideally be a lot more than enough. And I am prioritizing here, but I can see there is some that's getting passed. Now, as soon as this part comes in, it should fully back up everything. I'm just going to watch this as it starts coming in, and once I see that other line going, I know all is well in the universe. Once both lanes start moving past up here. Alright, so now we've got the full-on yellow belt coming in, and there we go! We're getting both lanes, so this is now fully backed up. Oh yes, it's glorious. For some reason, I've got too much steam? Don't know how that's happening. But, yeah, so... Holla frickin' Luya! It's all sorted. It took nearly half the stream, but, the lack of coke is now at least somewhat fixed. Now, this cycling here, this cycling is the hydrogen. Excuse me, it is the hydrogen process up here. Hydrogen power process, which is right there. This doesn't have enough coke in it just because the coke hasn't made its way up there yet. As you can see, the point where I start getting both lanes going from overflow hasn't caught up yet just from the speed of the belt, and it sort of has to back everything else up along the way as well. One other thing to note is apparently my next bottleneck on the chip shooter machine for the circuit 1s is vacuum tubes, and vacuum tubes are being limited by graphite, which is made out of coke. So I probably want to just go over there and add another graphite machine to feed into this. It's actually not that huge of a difference between them. It's like a 0.06 difference or something like that in production versus consumption. But what I'm thinking of actually doing is adding another if I can even remember where these machines are. Adding another electronics factory, which is going to need some stone. Right, I sort of got rid of what was consuming stone up here. Replaced it. Yeah, I got rid of that. So I don't know what I have that's actually consuming stone on the bus outside of saline water. That's probably it, just the saline water. That's fine. Alright, graphite. This is producing 0.2 per second. I need 0.29. I mean, that is close enough to a 1.5, so it's a 3 to 2. That's close enough to a 3 to 2 for my tastes. I mean, we're talking a 0.01 or a 0.02 difference, technically, or 3. Requires 0.57. 0.57, huh? Versus 0.6. A 0.03 difference is not enough to really care too much about. Okay, that gets those moving. Clearing out some of these rocks. Let there be lights. And that, as they say, is that. So I'm now producing 0.57 on the vacuum tubes, which should be more than enough to feed in fully on this chip shooter machine. It actually needs 0.75 per second to run fully. So I would need another set. And wow, that's a lot of module slots. Holy crap, that's a lot of module slots. How much am I producing here? 1 per second, so that's more than enough. Here it's 0.6. That's a little less than half, so I could do another one of those if everything else was operating fully. And then you guys, it's 0.6 of you guys, 1.5. That's 3 of you. So really, if I wanted to fully maximize this machine, there is room to do that. But that's not what I want to focus on next. Next, now that I've taken care of all those power struggles, is all about finishing up and getting through the aluminium casting, because you can see here. Oh, and technically I'm also sort of producing a little bit more wood than what I was doing before, so this should now be filling up a little bit faster. I have phosphoric acid. That's what I did last time. I am now ready to go and mine some aluminium. Now, aluminium requires coal gas, which I should have over here already. And while I'm over here, I may as well finally fix the water issue that the water bottleneck that I have out here. But I think I'm going to do that after taking a short break. Just a couple of minutes to get up and stretch the legs, and when I return, it will be all about the aluminium stuff. I will see you all shortly. Alright, so I am back, and while I was stretching my legs, I realized there is one more thing that I have to do back on the improved coke production, because this will actually choke the system if I don't fix this right now. So I may be pulling in ash from the wood production, but I am only pulling in about half of what is being produced. So I need to run the ash line out to the main bus ash line, which leads into the burners, to get rid of it. So that is the absolutely necessary next thing that needs to happen, is I need to get the ash up to the main ash line on the bus, which is an unfortunate side tracking, because I really want to get to the casting, but if everything is operating at 100% efficiency, as I'm expecting, it should be producing more. Should be producing more even at 3 if this is running at full 250 per second, and if these are all running producing 250 per second on the or 25, sorry, on that, making 250 of that. If this is actually making the 250 on that, it should be between 4.5 and 6, and if I'm running 4 of these, it's 3 per second on the ash, which should theoretically be backing up. So I will have to run this up. There we go. Now I don't have to worry about excess of any of that. Methanol to combustion mixture at 650 C. Interesting. Yet another way of making power. Let's go with, and then that leads to energy generation 2. Alright, let's pick that up so that I can work towards that. Slowly but surely. So that's all the ash excess being consumed. Now I can focus on the mining. So I'm going to want to pick up some drills, I think. Pick up any inserters that I may have made. Just make sure that I am about as prepared as possible. That includes picking up some additional pipes before I head out to my outpost. My rather big outpost. Pipes are being made right here. Again, I can technically take this flue gas and move it over to where I'm filtering out into ash, but considering as how right now all I can make is ash out of flue gas, and I'm overproducing on my ash, I don't see the point. Once I start making activated carbon, though, and am able to then convert flue gas into syngas by adding activated carbon, then yeah, maybe I would start focusing more on getting through and processing that flue gas. Just thinking, how much do you produce per second? 0.2? Think that's a 1-to-1? I'm just bearing in mind some of these ratios. No, it's actually 0.05 off. I am making these here. Give me those. How much chromium do I have on me? None. Alright, I went through last time and determined that for aluminium casting, I of course need casting machines. I need electric arc furnace, EAF. How much of these things have I made? I don't think I've made much of any. So there's some electric arc furnaces. I need an agitator, which I think I have agitator. I have one agitator. So before I head on out to do this aluminium mining, let's do as we always have been doing and get... I'm not going to need those in my inventory. Probably don't need any tar or crystal mines. High pressure furnaces I do need, though. Let's go through the various steps. So this will give me my pulp 2 from 1 plus steam. The electric arc furnace is what will be used to make the molten aluminium. I see it's also going to make the molten tin for me. So I'll have to bear that one in mind. But that's from tin dust when I eventually do that process. Alright, so this is that. A high pressure furnace is used in the production of pulp 1. No. No. Wrong. I'm looking at the wrong thing. It's a mixer. Do I have a mixer? I do not. I am short on the stone bricks. I need to associate when I see mixer stuff, when I see rich clay and sand, I need to associate that with stone bricks. That's what that inherently means, is that I need stone bricks for it. So let's go grab some of those. Unfortunately, I'm not running stone bricks on my bus. Ooh, and while I'm here, I should pick up you. Okay, as I was saying, mixers. Got plenty of aluminium for these. Oh, lead. Lead is more of an issue because I'm not bussing that one either. Lead is another one of those things that I'll need to make sure that I get better, more efficient processing done for. Because I really haven't been needing a lot of lead, but I do need it to make some machines. Anyway. Heading on back. While I'm on my way back, I'll just pick up some of these. And some of these. Ball mills. I have plenty of ball mills. That's the other thing. Casting machines, electric arc furnace, agitator, mixer, powder, ball mill. So the ball mill makes the powdered aluminium from ore plus gravel, so I need to do something with the gravel. The gravel gets processed in jaw crushers, so I will need some non-zero amount of jaw crushers, and jaw crushers I think will require picking up some more engine units to get the amount that I need. Oh, it apparently also requires more steel. And duralumin, but that's eh. So let's figure out these ratios and then what I actually want to end up making. Big difference between what the actual to ratio is and what the acceptable amounts of stuff I actually want to produce is. So I don't need those in the actual aluminium casting. I needed them for making the acid that I need. And then I have to think, do I want to... Alright, so aluminium pulp, the pulp, does pulp 1, so pulp 1 is used to make capacitor 2s. So I'm going to need pulp 1 on the bus. Pulp 1 is lime. So I am actually going to need the high pressure furnaces to make lime, and soil extractors for that matter. Plus the powdered aluminium, water, and that's where the phosphoric acid comes into play. So the phosphoric acid comes into play in the production of pulp 1, which means it will be easier to get the powdered aluminium to a processing area near my bus. I think that's how I want to do this. Now, does powdered aluminium get used in anything else? No, it doesn't, but the pulp 1 absolutely gets used in capacitor 2s. Pulp 2s just get turned into molten. Pulp 3 eventually, by adding alamac to pulp 2, will need to go into pulp 4, which goes into sodium aluminate and tailings, crystallized, sintered, or into molten, and then high grade or sintered. Yeah, that's a lot of molten out of sintered. And high grade into molten is also a lot. One reduced into more molten, or into sintered into molten. Okay. Lots of things. Where am I conducting my calculations of ratios? So, ball mill. Excuse me, I'm pretty sure I clicked where I could place. So, powdered aluminium. Mixer, 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 mixer. pulp one. Apparently I've already done this. $66.6. 2 agitators. Five furnaces. Well, 6, but realistically 5. Good to know that this is a 1-to-1 mixer to agitator. Ball mill is not quite. Ooh, 12. That, I think, is... no. 15. So it's 10 to 9. Technically, but that's close enough to 1-to-1 that, yeah, that's close enough to 1-to-1. So I'm just gonna probably have 2. Yeah, because that's a full belt of aluminium anyway. 2 to 2 to 2 to 6. So I need 1 more agitator. And how many electric arc furnaces? Gosh, I really need to learn how to recognize the icons a little bit better. I have enough electric arc furnaces, so it's just... I need 1 more of one machine. That will require melamine from down here. And some glass. Glass I have plenty of. And melamine I also have plenty of. Melamine being produced right here. Agitator. Go, go, go. And then the other thing to look at is the ball mills producing this. 2 of them produces 3 per second in gravel. How many jaw crushers consume gravel? Alternatively, I can just burn the gravel. It's not like I need more sand. One is actually more than enough to take the gravel into sand, but again, I don't really need sand, so I'll probably just burn it. I've got only 2 burners. Let's pick up some more of those. needs rocks. Just add rocks. Really tempted to make these tiles. Okay, one last stop. Yeah, that's important. Hey, what are you doing to your flue gas? Where's the... Ah, it's all being burned. Okay. Or at least, yeah, flared. Yeah, there's no duralumin backup. I don't have a single one of these. That's going to be fairly difficult, maybe. That is a nice looking chair. Yes, this is a nice chair. It is a lazy boy. I had originally bought it when I weighed like 366 pounds, because it has a, I think it's 400 pound weight capacity. It's the whole reason why I bought it, was the weight capacity, but it is very nice. Now it's a little bit big for me since I lost 170 some odd pounds. Of course, I run right into a rock immediately. Now, to get through to my aluminium. Ah, yes, thank you for saying that. The ketogenic low-carb diet really works. What's today's goal? Well, today's goal started as fixing a problem with power generation that the ultimate solution to was more coke production, so I set up proper coke production via red hot coke. So that's now outputting a lot more coke than what was being produced. And I'm dealing with the coke oven gas and the flue gas that is output from all of this, as well as the coal dust. I am converting all of that into extra syngas, but it looks like I actually have to vent some excess syngas, maybe, because this might be choking. But the main goal of today was actually to finish setting up casting of aluminium plates from Pulp 2. I don't weigh 300 pounds anymore. I don't need to be punishing myself with pie. Well, I'm not really punishing myself. I don't find this difficult. A lot of people find the PY mod set difficult. I just see it as complex. I don't associate complexity and difficulty together. It's... you work through it once or twice, and once you know it, it's easy. The hardest part is knowing it, and there are enough utilities out there to help you figure things out that it's ultimately not all that hard. So I was going out here to get to this aluminium. And I'm remembering that I actually need to grab pipe to ground and actual pipes. I need to get rid of something. Don't think people find it difficult, really lengthy. Well, again, I'm fine with lengthy as well. This mod set adds, what, 1,700 items or something like that? 1,700 plus, and then Pyanodon's working on yet another thing in the form of the Alien Life mod. Is this going to be enough? Is this even dense enough for my tastes? I don't know. Is there anything better than this? That one is a lot more dense. That one's bigger. And just about as dense. Did you try space exploration? I have a playthrough that I'm doing on my own time that is vanilla space exploration. It's space exploration without AAI, because I don't really particularly enjoy AAI. Its early game changes, but yeah, I'm trying it out at the very least. Let's see, how do I want to align this here? How will you get rid of stone? Stone from what? That I need to ask. How will I get rid of which stone? Because the process that I'm doing right now with the aluminium gives me gravel, and I'm going to be burning the gravel rather than converting it into sand. Deep core mining and space exploration. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far. I'm like at the point of making blue science. I'm not even really doing anything with space exploration yet on that playthrough. When I get stuck with a bunch of stone I have no use for. Well, space exploration itself without AAI adds a recipe. It adds glass by converting stone to sand to glass. So that may be one way. I don't know if it adds any void recipes. Way too many rocks around here. Do I even make enough coal gas to supply a full... Wait, what's the, Right, so I'm gonna need 60 of these, not 30. Possible to do, may require some warehousing and juggling. I don't know. Don't know. That's 40. I need another set of this. that's not gonna last. That's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. That theoretically gives me a full yellow belt. Yeah, that's 60. Mining time 200%. Normally it's 30 mining drills per yellow belt, and so yeah, it's 60. Likely I'm not making enough coal gas to feed 60 of these. It's like, that's... It's not 300 per second. This mod does not take into account mining time, so it's 150 units per second of coal gas. Maybe. It's fine. Don't know. Then I need this one too. Alright, now the reason why I wanted this patch is because it's close to where I have coal gas already run. Because I have coal gas coming in right down here, so I can just move it over. What do I want next? I guess chromium, maybe? I'm still, like, not even doing oil refining yet in this playthrough. I'm still at the point where it's like, oh, let's start casting stuff with molten metals. Let's make molten metals. What is your holdup? Well, I know what its holdup is. It's that there's just not enough. Oh, it's backed up on the glass, which is fine. So I guess I don't have to worry so much about not having enough water to feed into all these right now. Now my only concern is just not having enough pipes for this. That is my pretty major concern at the moment. Let's run this up. Really looking forward to when I actually start making robots. Things will progress a lot more smoothly once that happens. Or at least a lot faster. Alright, where is the specific tile? I'm guessing it's right around... It's up there, so I've got some... At least one or two more to go, and then let's get proper alignment again. Okay. Then bring this over. Oh, and for reference, when I did buy this office chair that I'm sitting in right now, let's just say that it was not cheap. It was not cheap for a big and tall person chair that can support 400 pounds. Oh boy, that was... I was extremely grateful that the time arrived where I needed to buy a new chair right after getting a tax refund. It's like, oh good, this happened at a convenient time because I had just gotten my tax refund for that year. This was 2017, I think, is when I bought this particular chair after I broke my previous one. Ah, boy. That was my previous one that was rated at 350 pounds. That was not pleasant. Not in the slightest. And yet, despite those signs, like, hey, maybe you should start losing some weight. You're getting to be a little bit too big for stuff, and you're breaking chairs and spending a heck of a lot of money to get chairs that can handle your weight. No, what ended up actually pushing me over the edge to lose weight was the moment my 3XL shirt started showing my stomach a little bit. It signaling that a 3X shirt was starting to be just a little bit too small. That was the point that that I was like, nope! This isn't gonna keep going on like this anymore. And, yeah, I went on a low-carb diet at that point. Anyway, the way that I've made this, I have to do my power in this way, which is incredibly inefficient on the undergrounds. But it is a lot more compact. I don't even need that one. So I don't need to worry about the outputs going into an underground. It operates just fine, just as long as I'm not blocking fully any of these outputs. And that, as they say, is that. I just need to make sure. Now, everything is connected across lanes, so I just need to provide some power. Now, what is the closest route to power? I think straight down is the closest route for power. No, I refuse. I will kill any rocks on my way that block me. Please, please, please have enough. Stuff and things. There we go. I had enough stuff and things. Stuff and or things. Okay, that is the aluminium, and it appears I've missed some undergrounds. It also appears as if I absolutely have enough coal gas. Yeah, I absolutely have enough coal gas to feed a full yellow belt. That's cool. So, I need to determine exactly what I want to accomplish over here. I mentioned perhaps belting the powdered aluminium back, but maybe that's not the best of plans. Because, I mean, it's 3 per second. It feeds 1 to 1 um, into the molten. Not the molten, into the pulp 1 production. So, maybe I just belt the full aluminium ore down? But no. No. Okay. I will bring this ore back. Why? Well, it's because I don't think that I am ever going to add additional mining drills on this patch of ore. That is my reasoning for this. When I eventually get trains and have multiple ore patches, places that I'm tapping, I'll have a centralized location where I am processing my aluminium into casting it. But as of right now, I mean, I could make this the point where I just ship all of my ore into. I mean, that is an option of just shipping my ore here. But do I really want to, like, right here? It's interesting. I think I will not burn here because burners require power. Not power. They require fuel. That is what they require. Fuel. Where's my car? There's my car. And I don't feel so much like having to bring in a line of fuel. So I will send this ore back closer to my bus. Oh, a bit of the blue volcano zone. I've got green and blue volcano here, and a bit of red. Green, blue, and red volcano biome. It's just so unfortunate that there's so many rocks in this biome. There's just way too many rocks in in alien biomes to begin with. Part of me wishes RSO would really cut back on the amount of stones that alien biomes spawns in, but it doesn't. For some reason, it doesn't. It's just like, oh god, so many stones. Rocks. There'll be less rocks once I get out of the biome. Here we go. Oh look, more of the biome. I could just say, like, F it, and, put in commands to immediately remove every single type of rock. One command per rock type, but, no, I'm not gonna do that. Maybe if I was playing on my own time, I would do that, but on my own personal file. But no. Okay, let's bring this all the way over. Straight through the oil sand. Right into the soul rock. Wow! That was unexpected. I thought I was going to run into the rocks, and I was just one pixel away. Oh. Oh. Okay. Apparently, I need more belts. So many rocks near me. So let's grab more belts. Repair. Give me belts. While I'm here, I need to pull onto the bus the acid. Can I make pumps? Yes. Good. Because I'm going to need a pump. At least one. Alright, where on the bus am I going to put this one? Probably the one right above my heat. Yes, right above the heat. I happened to be right next to it, but that is not a very good line, because so I'm just going to do this for reference so that I know I need to be over here. I need to run this through here. And let's just keep this as reference, because I might need to actually be... I may need to yeah, so I'll need to reroute... I mean, here is fine. But I need to route it probably from there. So if I'm going up further... Let's see, what is a good... What is the closest gap in this jaw crusher line from up here? This one. Don't worry, I'll be cleaning up all the other pipe to grounds. Unfortunate. So unfortunate. I didn't want to have to do this. Alternatively, I can go even higher. I guess I'll do that then. Then this will be somewhere way up there. Because this is a much bigger gap to send a belt through. Not a belt, but a underground. Half an hour left in the stream today. Okay, I was saying that this would have to be above all this, so that's quite convenient. That is quite convenient. Just move it one up. All rocks must die. Well, that's good to know that I have enough of those. Here, enjoy. Enjoy! Even more ash. Kill all of that for me, please. Also, no, pull. Keep that. I don't really... Oh, boy. No, that's processed iron. I think the processed iron looks a little bit too close to the duralumin. Just a little bit too similar there. Alright, soon I'll be able to remove all of that. Or was I going to do the casting here? I was actually going to be doing the casting up here. Now that I'm thinking about it. Replace this with the casting and the pulp 2 making production. Because pulp 2 is... I mean, it requires graphite. That's the main thing. On the pulp 2 side of things. Let's see here. Keep pulling this over. Voila. There's my acid. Remember that I want to have the acid on my bus anyway. So this is a thing that I was going to do regardless. A thing that I had to do regardless, I should say. So that is excellent. I now have the task of fully running this down the bus, which, as you can see, is going to require a lot of repairing of stuff. It's going to require me to pick up more undergrounds. And all of this is merely phase 1. It's like, once I do get my aluminium production going from molten, I will have to siphon off a bit of that molten in order to produce duralumin once I get copper casting going. Because I will be needing to do molten copper so that I can do the far better duralumin recipe. La-di-da-di-da. I mean, I may as well run it all the way up. I mean, why I just said that I would bring this to my bus. I said nothing about where on my bus I would actually be doing all of these steps. I made no mention that I was going to be doing it way down here. No, no, I'm not doing it way down here. I am doing it way up here. I just need everything to be closer, not, Anyway. How big is this? That big? May as well extend it. Okay, ball mills. And then... what is it again? It's into a... mixer? Yes. Ball mill into mixer. Okay, so I don't like that this is on this side. I'm gonna do this over here. And I'm also going to do this one more tile back. And the reason is so that I can have these side by side for one. And so that I can just do like long-headed inserters, outputting, and also that. Makes it easier to output stuffs and things. Now I'm going to basically ignore that my bus even exists for the moment as I bring this up. I'll worry about pipe positioning when it becomes necessary. If it becomes necessary. Alright, that's that in. Yes, I then need I do hope that's enough inserters. That's right, this is not going to work out like I would hope. I, for the first time, think I'm going to use filter inserters. For the first time, I shall use the filter inserters for something. Of course I left my car behind. Fortunately, I should be making filter inserters right here. in a non-zero amount, and that's all that really matters. Non-zero is all that really matters. That being said, and I haven't said this for a long time, my favorite number is free. So always bear that one in mind. My favorite number is free. Unfortunately, when it comes to this game, it's no longer about being free or not. It's about being non-zero. That will work. Then I said something about a burn it all to cinder. Burn it into ashes. Literally. Literally burn it into ashes. And that's all I will do here. Like, that's it. That's it, that's all. That's all that's happening here. Because the next step is just bringing... Ew. Bringing this onto the liquid bus. And I guess I have to, you know, power everything, but I don't think I have enough power poles remaining. Oh, that's another issue, isn't it? I can't power this. Now I can. You don't have any things out. Oh. Duh. I need lime in. Lime in 66. Or, no, 6 units. Bear in mind, I don't need to care about that extra 2/3 because I'm doing 3 per second in, not 3 1/3. And it looks like it's 2 to 1. So if I have exactly 3 in, this will require exactly 6 in on the lime. Now, the lime is made in a high-pressure furnace. High-pressure furnace. Ooh. Tiles. Tiles makes lime. Needs... Oh, and it's CO2 out. Excellent. More CO2! Now I need exactly 6, so... There we go. There's your 6. There's the 6. This will require 6 per second in on the limestone, and a hell of a lot of coke. Okay, new plan. That's a dense coal patch. Oh, more water. New plans. I'm going to need more coal anyway, but here's my thoughts. This is just coal in. This is exclusively coal in. Coal plus water and some steam. But all of that... But I can get steam through coal. So... I can... Also, I can ignore this. I don't really need the syngas. In fact, I'm going to go down and I'm going to stick an overflow valve down and start burning off the excess. Where's my car? What I can do is I can go to a coal patch, and instead of outputting coal from that coal patch, I can pipe back, well, belt back in the coke directly. So that's what I think I will end up doing, because I'm going to need a lot of coke, and the nature of this mod is highly dependent upon coke, so I'm thinking I should change what lane my coke is coming in on. So right now I have coke coming in on this lane with coal right next to it. I think I need to change that. I need to give coke its own set of 4 lanes, its own dedicated set of 4 lanes, and those 4 lanes need to be fed by dedicated coke production. That will probably be the basis of the plan for the next time we meet, which will be on Thursday. Thursday is when next we meet. So, I'm saying that because there's only 9 more minutes in today's stream. And yeah, power is doing fine, thankfully. But I have way too much syngas. Yeah, because that's backed up, So I need to do something about this syngas, and right now the only real solution is burn it all! Burn all of the excess. Make things move. Yeah, and that should dramatically also increase the amount of the ash coming out. Looks like I don't need that many burning that, but anyway. Yeah, 4 of these running all at once. It's glorious. Oh wow, you need actually a lot of ash to operate. Anyhoozle. Now that that is fixed... yeah, let's start working on making more furnaces and quenching towers. Quenching towers, I'm going to need some steel for. So it's 2 per yellow belt, basically. Like 2 of these fills a yellow all by itself. Now, question, if I'm looking for 4 yellows, well, 3 yellows, it looks like alright, so it looks like when you have 6 quenching towers, it gives you, between the 2 outputs, 4 belts worth of stuff in total. That's 4 belts worth of 4 yellow belts worth of stuff. Because a yellow belt is 15 items per second, this adds up to 60. 60 divided by 15 equals 4. Um, 15 by 3 is 45. 32 and 8 is 40. So if I had 4 of these, that would be a little under 3 belts. And 5 would be a little more than 3 belts. So if I'm looking for specifically 4 belts out, I need to be considering what I'm about to do next time. I know we spent all this time making this setup today. What I'm going to do next time is I am going to find a place that can get me... So I need 7.2 hot per second. Well, I determined that this is, for all intents and purposes, 3 to 2. So if I have 6, that's 3 sets of 2. So that's 9. That is a red belt's worth of coal in, which is 2 yellow belts, which is 60 units. You don't have enough... What? You don't have enough steam? Aww. It doesn't have enough steam. Anyway, what I'll do next time is I'll find a patch that I can place 60 mining drills down to make enough coal to feed this, but bear in mind too, I'll actually need to run an additional line of coal as well. more than just the individual lines here, because 9 of these will take more than 30 per second because they get fed by coal. They require coal for their fuel. It looks like it requires quite a bit of coal for its fuel, so that will probably add at least another half lane, or maybe another full lane of yellow belt of coal. So I need a patch that can give me at least, let's say, 75 mining drills on it, and if this patch size was able to give me 60 on it, I might be able to squeeze 75 out of that coal patch up there. This one, I don't really see it happening. This one's far too, it's not dense enough. This one's too small. Yes, I think that's what I'll be doing. So next time, mine me. So don't forget, I will set up mining up there. Hopefully I get at least 75 miners on that. I can run the power straight up from the aluminium, and I will be setting up a bunch of basic oxygen furnaces, bunch of offs. I need some bricks. So I need 9 boffs. 9 of them. Okay, that should be 9. 9 buffs, 6 quenching towers. How many have I made of those? 2. I need a lot. Pallet. And then I'll, like, not do anything with the excess flue gas or whatever, the coal residual stuff, because I don't need to convert that into syngas at this time. And I am officially out of stone in my home stone patch. Such is a shame. I want to at least get these going. I need one more queued. Just one more queued, that's all I need. And then I will end off the episode today. So what did I get done today? Well, I got done a setup to give me more coke, and I have worked on setting up some aluminium. I've got aluminium mining, and I've got the initial setup to make the pulp 1. I just need to finish all of that next time. But during that process, I realized I'm going to need a lot more coke, even than what I am producing now, which is about a yellow belt's worth. So I am going to be taking the logical option of going out and making 4 belts worth of coke and seeing how long that lasts me. That'll be nice. With that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. I will see you all next time for more Pyanodons on the Thursday stream. I will, of course, be back tomorrow, Wednesday, for more of the Angels playthrough. And as far as I can tell, I did not have a single disconnect. Frickin' I am so glad that I have finally discovered what the issue was and killed it with fire. Again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.